What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to look at a couple of very funny clips of the commentators being a little confused by who I am. I think it's very amusing to me. Boss Rutten actually making a comment which makes me sound, I'd say, a little bit of a psychopath because he's referring to me like hurting small animals. So first I want to say that it's okay to be different, to fall outside the mold in any area, really. But in the fight world, there's very typical look for fighters, very typical persona, very typical mindset. Now that does not embody everybody. Absolutely. There are many people who are very, very smart who compete. Guys like Georgia Petrosian, guys like Floyd Mayweather, who are just able to dissect their opponents. And I wish I could be as good as these guys or those guys in that regard. But within karate combat, with my YouTube channel, in the kickboxing world, I'm getting this interesting, I'm going to call it, interesting persona as a fighter who has so much happening up there. And we're going to go through the clips right now, and then I'll touch base with you on what they actually mean and how I perceive them.
One of the things we always ask the fighters, in the run-up to the fight is, did you do any tape study? Did you look at this? And as soon as we asked that to Gabriel Varga, he just reeled off everything he saw about his opponent and everything he thought he could do in every hole. And, this guy just studies everything.
And yes, of course, I absolutely do study everything. Now, first I'm going to point out the positives, and then I'm going to touch on the negatives of doing this. But I do not understand why somebody would not take the time and advantage of the tape they're able to study for their opponent. So first off, let's talk positives. When you look at an opponent, you study them. You should, number one, be able to assess their strengths and assess their weaknesses. Those are the two main things that I look at. There's a lot of stuff in between that they're okay at, or it's average, maybe a little bit above average. I am not interested in that because over-analyzing an opponent can be dangerous. I will talk about that in a moment. But knowing what their strengths are allows you to train over and over and over and over how to stop that from happening. If you can isolate somebody's strength, all of a sudden they are going to be a shell of themselves, which gives you so much more of an advantage in getting your victory. If you can move beyond that, then you can move to what are they weak at. Once you've established that, then it's so much easier for you in the gym to go, oh, okay, they might be weak here, but I don't have great offense in that regard. But look at, they're weak over here, and this is what I'm really good at. Now you can start building a game plan that works against them, but for you. So for instance, in this fight that I had with Tommy Azuz, I knew that his hands were fairly low. That leaves his head exposed. But I also knew that he was really fast, that if I just came in with punches, he was going to back up or he was going to counter me. So that kind of eliminates that thought process where maybe I'll jump in and throw fast combos. But if we look at him and we go, oh, his legs are really wide, he's very based out, it's going to be very difficult for him to check kicks. And I like throwing low kicks or calf kicks, so let's work those. All of a sudden you're starting to establish a game plan which works for you but does not work for him. Now, in terms of cons of having a game plan, and I have experienced this in the past, you can study somebody to death and then all of a sudden you come out and your game plan doesn't work, or they don't fight in the same way that you saw footage of them doing in the past. So you have to be careful and you have to have an open mind to make adjustments, because when you can do that, you now have their strengths, their weaknesses, but you're not so dialed in on it that you can't make adjustments and you're going to fall apart if they don't fight that one way. I think that is the fear of many fighters in over analyzing their opponent. If things don't work out the way they planned, that they're going to be at a disadvantage. But I don't look at it that way. I look at it, if they fight the way they fight normally, I'm ready. If they don't fight that way, I can make adjustments and I'll deal with it in the moment. Now next, let's move on and listen to what Boss Rutten says about me.
That's it, very methodical. He might have been torturing small animals though when he was a baby.
He's methodical, he might have been torturing small animals when he was a baby. Obviously he's joking, I like Boss. He's an awesome dude, seems very down to earth, very, very nice to sit down with and have a little chat before the fight. But I found this comment really funny. Somebody actually messaged me and said that, did you see the moment where Boss was like referring to you as Hannibal Lecter? I went, what? No, I didn't see that. And obviously he's not referring to me as Hannibal Lecter there. He's just basically pointing out that maybe my brain works a little different and he could see me being a little bit of an odd child, perhaps, but just having fun with it. No offense taken at all. And it was just fun to hear that commentary and see these guys analyzing me the way I analyze the fight game almost, looking at all avenues, all aspects, looking at how I have the best chance of getting my victory without necessarily going, I have to destroy my body over and over and over and over, and it's only about that. You also have to remember there's the mental side to fighting, and many people forget that fighting is basically just physical chess. That's what it is. And if you can think of it as a chess game, where it comes from up here, then the physical side is not the only thing which is important. But I just wanted to share those little comments with you because some people maybe didn't get to watch the fight yet, or they skipped ahead and didn't see that pre-fight sort of commentary by those guys. I thought most people would get a kick out of it. I know I did. That's all I want to share with you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, you got a laugh, please give it a like. I'll see you guys back here soon for another episode.